Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. And it is Tuesday. It's about 2:30 here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just wanted to do a short video update. My parents are in town this week, and I've got to kind of hang out with them for the next couple of days. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many live streams I'll be doing this week, but probably this weekend I'll be doing some. But I wanted to do a quick video on Monday morning. See, Monday morning about 9 o'clock a.m. I was kind of bored, and I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and call the FBI. I'm going to go ahead and report this again. It's been about a year since I've called the FBI, and I've called the FBI many, many times in the past, probably like all in all like 15 times in the past, and filed reports with them, but I've never gone in personally. Um, And so I called in Monday morning, and I said, I gave the agent my information. It gave me the option. It said press 2 if you need to report terrorism or bodily harm. So I pressed 2 because of how, as targeted individuals, we are bombarded by remote directed energy weapons, ground weapons, remote neuro weapons, and then we're gang stalked by Infraguard, DHS fusion centers, and community watch organizations. So I gave him my information. I gave him my first and last name, Kyle Sladen, like my date of birth, my address, my phone number, and everything like that. And so the agent goes, "Okay, so what's the problem, sir?" And this is exactly what happened. I said, well, I've called into the FBI many times before, but you guys were not able to help me, and did not believe me. But I said I wanted to go ahead and call in again and just try and explain the situation and see if y'all can help at this point. I said, I am hit. This is how I explained it. I said, um, for many years, I have been attacked by remote directed energy weapons and remote neuro weapons. And he stopped me and he said, okay, wait, sir. Sir, that's not our jurisdiction. Click. So before I could even get to the information about how Infraguard, DHS fusion centers, and community watch organizations were treating me as a terrorist or person of interest, surveilling me on their side is what they call it, surveillance on their side, but I was going to call it, gang stalking. Before I could even get to that part, the FBI agent said, "Stop me," because I've been hit for many years by remote directed energy weapons and remote neuro weapons. He said, sir, that's not our jurisdiction, sir. Boom, and hung up on me. So that's kind of different. That's a different reaction that I've gotten from the FBI on the other times that I've called them. One time I called, and the FBI agent was like playing around with me and laughing and saying, "Oh yeah, directed energy weapons. Aren't those in New Mexico or something like that?" This agent, and this is the numbers up on the screen. I called the FBI in Baton Rouge. He said that's not our jurisdiction, and hung up on me before I could continue and speak about the gang stalking. So it wasn't like, oh, you need to seek mental help, or something like that. It wasn't a denial that this was happening. It was simply, that's not our jurisdiction, sir, and then he hung up. I wrote it down, verbatim, his quote. That is not our jurisdiction, sir, and then hung up. So, and I wanted to add that it it was kind of like, as somebody who answered the phone as an FBI agent, he had had the rundown of what to say when a targeted individual calls in to try and report attacks by remote directed energy weapons and remote neuro weapons. It was like he was prepared for a citizen calling in and saying that, and what his directions were to do were to say that's not our jurisdiction and immediately hang up so they don't have to write a report about it. So I just wanted to document that. I probably will be going in personally to the FBI, and I know that a lot of targeted individuals are like, well, it's not going to help. Well, they're not going to help us. the deal is we've got to keep running this up the flagpole the other way, right? Through these agencies, reporting it to the police, to the FBI, and things like that, so that while they're getting compartmentalized orders to participate in the gang stalking or whatever they're participating in, their slice of the pie that they're participating in to destroy our lives, when we report it up, some of these agents will start to understand the big picture, right? And it will kind of gum up the works, right? These orders coming down federally or even globally, we're going to be reporting the big picture that citizens are being murdered. So it didn't really help. I wish that he would have just gone ahead and filed the report and heard me out. Obviously, I wish, because I was going to speak about gang stalking and everything like that and report that to the FBI office, and then I was going to schedule a sit down with somebody in the office. I know that I know that maybe we wouldn't get anywhere on that, but it is important to know that I'm pretty sure even this, and I don't want to say lowly agent, but he was taking calls on a Monday morning, taking reports from citizens. Even he knew that remote directed energy weapon attacks and remote neural weapon attacks are happening to citizens in the United States of America. And he actually had been told to say that is not our jurisdiction, sir, or ma'am, whoever calls in, a woman or a man calls in, and hang up on the person. So I wanted to go ahead and report that, and it was on Monday. What's Tuesday? It was on the 25th. It was on November 25th, 2019. I will be, I'll probably be calling them again. I just didn't call them that day because I was like, wow, he just said that that's not their jurisdiction and hung up on me. So I was like, well, I definitely got to make a video about that. But I probably will be calling them after Thanksgiving and going in for a physical sit down and just videotaping it. And I know this is like an angle that I don't think we're going to get. We're not going to get that far with, because I think that they have protocols of if somebody comes to you talking about this, just say it's not our jurisdiction. But I still, we still got to push on all avenues. So I think that's it for this video. That's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal when you call the FBI and they don't say, oh, go seek mental health, go seek a mental health professional or whatever. They just say that's not our jurisdiction, and as quick as they can, hang up. If it was not a threat, like if they were like, oh well, this targeting is going to go on and nobody, we don't need it covered up, he would have sat there and talked with me. There would have been no urgency to hang up so that he did not have to file any of that report. So I'm pretty sure that people in the FBI, they are trained to, when somebody calls in to talk about their targeting, to talk about being hit with directed energy weapons, they hang up as fast as possible. They say something that can be construed two ways, because that's not my jurisdiction. It can be construed in a couple of ways, but they immediately hang up so that they do not have to file that report. So I just wanted to report that, guys. And I'll be kind of the correct way. I'm going to report this the correct way, but this is terrorism. We are being attacked by directed energy weapons and neuro weapons, and then we're being harassed by gang stalkers, vehicularly harassed. It's a serious problem. It's serious domestic terrorism against innocent Americans in this country, and then if you're a citizen in another country, against innocent citizens in that country too. Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. I just kind of wanted to report that. I kind of got to hang out with my family for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure. I might, I don't know, maybe do some videos, maybe the night before Thanksgiving or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you're finding, comfort. The ZVS driver's still working. Still working, and I'm still, it's just the beginning. These solutions that do attenuate and things like that, it's just the beginning. I do want to mention that, we know why awareness is important. Awareness is important for stopping this program, for getting this information out, for educating the public so they can be, when they start getting hit by directed energy weapons, they can know what to do. They can know, what group to get help from. Um, and I'm kind of forgetting where I was going with that, but what was I gonna say? I wanted to say another very very important angle of awareness that I was thinking about, because I look for these different types of defenses. From Dave Case's CD to grounding to the ZVS drivers, and then stack these defenses. And it attenuates a very large percentage of the effects the neuro weapons are having on me, and the effects the external directed energy weapons are having on me. But you got to think about it like this, guys. The more awareness that we get out about this to the public, the more creative thought from normal citizens that we can have about defending these weapons. I mean, yeah, obviously we want to stop the program, but you think about it, the more and more aware that the public become about this, the bigger that the market is going to become for defense and shielding of directed energy weapons, right? And we'll have more of the public, more creative minds and creative thinkers involved in knowing about the problem, and then bigger markets will form. I'm thinking kind of like right now, like Q-Wave Defender, Earthing.com, people that sell Orgonite and things like that. But there will be different markets and bigger markets for certain products that can actually defend this. As we get more awareness out. So I guess that's all I wanted to bring to you guys today. It's very important. The FBI did not deny that this was happening. They didn't treat me like a mentally ill person. They the agent did just say, that's not our jurisdiction, sir. I mean, it was like he treated it as if what I was saying, he knew it was going on and it was true, but he couldn't deal with it. That's the way that he handled it. So I feel like that's very very important to let you guys know about that. Yeah, and I'm a little bit nervous this week about Thanksgiving. My mom is very very sick. Like, she's having trouble breathing. She's had problems for years because she is targeted. I know that's, people who are not targeted individuals, they'll look at me and they'll be like, oh, you think everybody's targeted. My mom is targeted, and she actually started being targeted way harder when she, helped me to go see Dr. Hoffer. Actually, we were in the hotel room one night in Miami, and like, I was sitting in my bed, she was in the other bed. I was sitting in bed reading a comic book, and my V2K said, we're gonna hit your mom now. And like, I looked over, and her whole body like twitched. So I mean, they were using they're probably separate maybe not a separate contractor, maybe the same contractor but different, like a different hive mind team and a different integrated weapon system is attacking my mother. What happens, I do want to just mention this, what happens in all of this, and why it seems to spread to your family and friends. I know that some targeted individuals, they think their family and friends are more gang stalking them. What's happened with me is my family and friends have been targeted. When I get around them, it takes a couple of months or whatever, but they'll start being targeted. Now what's happening is, with the way the system's set up, I'm like a person of interest, or I'm on that terrorist watch list, right? I'm a targeted individual. I don't know if they call us that. I think they call us like persons of interest or whatever. But when you go talk to somebody, if you have a long-term relationship with a friend or a family member, just because you're around that person, they will then automatically be put on the list for suspicion. So that's how it kind of spreads like a virus. Like this whole watch list, targeting, gang stalking and everything. The targeted individuals whoever you have very close relationships for very long amount of times with, they will almost definitely, like almost 100%, they will start being surveilled at the very least. But then along comes remote neural monitoring, then the external weapons hits, the neuro weapons hits, and the gang stalking. And my dad was almost, after my 33rd birthday, a week after, he was almost killed. and he had a ringing in his ears before he had his aneurysm and stuff like that. So I know that a lot of my family members are being targeted, definitely my mom and dad. Um, so it's very nerve wracking. You know, I haven't really talked to my mom in detail a lot about like exactly the type of pain that she's going through, because she was going through many years of sciatica pain and pain on her left side that matches up with, like, I'd hear her talk about it and it really matches up with targeting. It's excruciating to have stuff like the ZVS driver, Dave Case's CD, or grounding, you know, less EMF, shielding, fabrics and things like that. There's a whole bunch of other ones that I missed. I'm kind of tired right now. But it's frustrating that I know that my parents are being targeted, but I know they would never believe that they're being targeted, and they probably never use any of the defenses, you know, that I have. So, you know, I've just gotta, just gotta enjoy my spending time with them, and then go for the head of the Hydra. You know, try and stop this program, try and bring awareness out about this program so it can keep there's more of a probability of the people targeting my family stopping that, right? It's a constant war. You know, this is a constant war. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you got a good Thanksgiving plan. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of target individuals are going to be having conference calls and things on Thanksgiving, for you guys who maybe can't spend time with your family. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. I just wanted to go over that. I thought it was very important how that the FBI responded to my report on domestic terrorism. This is when we are talking to a policeman or an FBI agent or any kind of agency, and I know a lot of TIs don't want to do that because you're worried that you might get thrown into a mental institution. You know, I've got to push, and I'm going to do it in a way that's very intelligent, where they can't put me away, where they can't call me crazy, and that's what happens when you do that. When you just keep it simple, keep it short, tell about what's happening, you are being terrorized, you are being attacked by remote directed energy weapons and remote neuro weapons. They're pretty much this, you know, a neuro weapon is a directed energy weapon, but a directed energy weapon isn't always a neuro weapon, if you understand what I'm saying. And if we handle this smart, the people that we're telling will know that it's happening. This is just kind of how they respond now. Everybody's trying to pass the buck and put their head down and act like, oh, well, that's not our jurisdiction. You know, but that's insane. It's insane because the FBI runs InfraGard, which is basically, you know, heads up gang stalking in our country, at least, in the United States at least. And then they're not denying that targeting exists. They're saying that the citizen that they are sicking InfraGard on and doing that extra harassment while the citizen is being tortured by remote microwaves, they're saying, oh, those remote microwaves, that's not our jurisdiction. We're just going to harass you. We're just going to stalk you. That's what we're doing. So as we all know, things are completely out of control. We do live in the New World Order. So people need to understand that the New World Order is here. The way that they've done it is by keeping a lot of the public thinking that things are the same, thinking that things are just like they were in the 1990s or whatever. But we live in the New World Order now. They're making war on citizens, torturing citizens in their homes every day, torturing citizens' families, or just if a targeted individual talks to somebody for a long time, that person probably will be targeted, or they'll at least be, what do they call it? They'll at least be surveilled to see if they want to target that person, because it's that kind of surveillance tree program. But it's not just surveillance, it's torture and murder. And it spreads like a virus because they hook into one targeted individual. That targeted individual has these relationships in their life, and then they'll target those people just because they're talking to the person of interest. It puts suspicion, you know, because these are false flags. It's all citizens who aren't doing anything wrong. put suspicion on those people that the targeted individual is talking to. So, completely criminal, completely satanic. But I did want to just to make a video about what that FBI agent did to me. A very serious issue. My family's being attacked. I was reporting that I have been attacked for many, many years and not got help from the FBI or even proper responses. And he immediately hung up. That's not our jurisdiction, sir. Hung up before I could even start talking about the gang stalking. It's not just inappropriate. That's neglect. That's neglect of a serious situation, and it's not just neglect by this agency that has nothing to do with it. This agency actually provides gang stalkers and private businesses for the harassment of people who are being hit by remote microwaves. So I'd say it is their responsibility and it is their jurisdiction to do something about it, to maybe stop gang stalking innocent citizens at the very least, you know. But I think we should push on this, and I know if don't do the. I'm not saying every target individual run and report to the FBI. Do what you think is gonna get us further. But I just wanted to report what happened to me, so maybe you guys, if some of you guys do want to keep reporting this to the FBI, just keep it short, keep it simple. Being hit by remote directed energy weapons, being hit by remote directed energy weapons. I don't know exactly who's doing it. I didn't get into the contractor. I thought who was doing it. I just kept it simple. And he got very, very worried and immediately hung up because he understood that he didn't have, I'm serious. This is a serious, serious thing. And we all know that. Alright guys, I love y'all. If I don't see y'all until after Thanksgiving, I love y'all so much, and I hope you have a good time with your family or friends. Or if not, a lot of people are going to be doing probably live streams and conference calls for targets who can't spend time with their families. And let's keep moving forward. So I just wanted to let y'all know about this. Didn't deny it. The FBI did not deny this. They just didn't, they just said it wasn't their jurisdiction. So it's alright guys. I love y'all. Just stay strong. God bless you and God protect you. God bless and protect your families. And I'll see you on the next one.